Good morning, everyone. Come on, it's Friday. So I want to just take a moment to thank GCC President Dr. Michelle Shute for hosting us today, and most importantly, the GCC dining service team in the back that got up really early to make us breakfast this morning, so thank you. I would also like to thank our breakfast sponsor, President Tony Warden, and the team of Greenfield Co-op Bank, sitting right down here to my left, for sponsoring the breakfast this morning. Before I invite up Jackie to share some sponsorship remarks, I've been reflecting a lot in the last few days, several conversations with people in the community, and I thought about this morning, before I came here, what is the Chamber? The Chamber to me is community over competition, right? So every single week, every month, every year, as we bring these folks together, I see all these businesses, very similar business, sometimes exact businesses, working really, really well together to make us better. When I see the amount of time and effort and support each of us puts into the community we work, live, and play in, that makes me happy. This is why I value our community, but more specifically, the Chamber. The Chamber, to me, is not about what's in it for me, it's what's in it for us. That's what makes this community special. Community over competition. Someone near and dear to my heart that actually talks about this constantly and lives and breathes this statement from the Dalai Lama, my fiance, Ashley. If you contribute to other people's happiness, you will find the true meaning of life. If we walk through everything we do, our community, our friends, our family, with this lens, we will all prosper. Community over competition. Thank you. Jackie?
Oh, somebody left the phone. Let's get selfies. So good morning, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yeah.
So Greenfield Cooperative is happy to sponsor this morning's Chamber breakfast because cooperative is not just our middle name. It's part of our core values, our culture, and how we operate in the community. Since our founding in 1905, the bank continues to thrive with deep roots in the community, providing deposit, loan, and financial services to families, individuals, businesses, and organizations throughout the Pioneer Valley. We continue to operate under a cooperative model for the benefit of our customers. What does that really mean? That means we do not have outside investors, and that we can take a long-term focus on what our customers need, how to help them with their financial well-being, and also how to create a vibrant community for our employees and our customers to live in. You know, I had the opportunity to join Greenfield Cooperative in January, and it's like coming home. It feels like a great opportunity, a great bank to be with, but it's great to be in a cooperative environment where people work together. And you know, what sets us apart is really that cooperative nature. It's our investment in our community and our employees. You know, we have the ability to make fast local decisions. We have great products and services, but we're humble. We're very humble about what we do and how we do that, and I think that's what makes us stand out and different. Another thing is we have a solid financial position, and we're fully insured for our deposits, both with the FDIC and the Deposit Insurance Fund. But today I'd like to give a shout out to the phenomenal team, because when you call Greenfield Cooperative, there is an experienced team member who actually answers the phone, that helps you on your financial journey, that helps you in terms of what you need, and celebrates what's happening in your lives. So today I'd like to thank the Greenfield Cooperative team that's here today, as well as everyone who's back at the bank. We couldn't bring everyone to breakfast, even though everyone wanted to go, except for no one raised their hand to speak. So I got the short straw. Henry Ford once said, "Coming together is the beginning, keeping it together is progress, and working together is success." and working together is what collaborative means. So today I'd like to congratulate the successes of the cooperative businesses on the panel. You truly embody what the shared cooperative spirit. Thank you for being here. It was when I think about cooperative, the Chamber is the most cooperative organization that you could have in a community. And the Franklin County Community Chamber really demonstrates that every day, and not just at the breakfasts, but at every event and with every business. And it's funny that the Chamber has been doing B2B. Before B2B was B2B. So before B2B payments, before B2B success, it was what they were doing and what they do today. So thank you so much, Jesse and the Chamber, for allowing me the opportunity to connect with you today. I always wonder who else could get everyone on a beautiful fall Friday morning out at 7 o'clock to have breakfast. And there aren't that many people, so thank you so much. It is great, again, to see all of you here. And I'd like to invite you all to come on over to the co-op. We'd love to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. And thank you again to Greenfield Cooperative Bank, not just for their continued support to the Chamber in this event, but for the way that they support our small businesses and nonprofits and neighbors. Community really is at the heart of Greenfield Cooperative Bank's mission, and for that we are grateful. So thank you, Greenfield Cooperative Bank. Can we give them one more round of applause? And then just one more round of applause for Geraldine and the GCC dining team. Doesn't this look so beautiful? Such great effort to make everything look so nice and everything so delicious. So we're so grateful for them. And like Jackie said, thank you all for being here. I want to start by leveling out expectations. Unlike last month, we do not have a fog machine, nor do we have any surprise superheroes flying about. But as you can see, we have an extremely impressive panel. We've got a great program for you today. So we're going to get right into it. First, we're going to welcome some new members and some new friends who are attending their first Chamber breakfast. So please stand or wave when I call your name. Welcome to Baker Financial Services Vice President Bradley Baker. Brad is also the president of the Greenfield Minor League Baseball organization. Both organizations are new members to the Chamber, so an extra big welcome to Brad. Welcome to Julie Davis and Beth Spong of Dean's Beans Organic Coffee. He's an old friend with a new business, but welcome to Chet Doobie of Integrity Payments. Yay, Chet. Chet has a new baby at home, so Chet gets extra points for being here, because I imagine he didn't get as much sleep as we would have liked him to last night. Community Action Pioneer Valley's Julia Wallace and Michaela Popkowski are attending their first Chamber breakfast. Welcome. Welcome to Nicole Hurlbert, who is now the executive director of the Learning Knoll. It said interim, but Nicole just told me that she has made that official. So welcome and congratulations to Nicole. Congratulations and welcome to GCC's new Director of Communications, Marketing, and Public Affairs, Jill Buchanan. Welcome, Jill. And then welcome to City of Greenfield's new Chief of Staff, Erin Ganhall, who is attending for breakfast. Nope, Marion says she's not. This is the second time I've welcomed her and she hasn't been here, so you know what? Just kidding, I'll welcome her at the next one. But we are so glad to have you all here. Thank you so much. We are going to move on to announcements. Be warned, we have quite a few announcements. As you know, there is so much happening in Franklin County right now. So we're going to start with tomorrow. You are all invited to lace up your sneakers and join me and Gary. Where's Gary? There he is. Gary for the 32nd annual Life Path Walkathon at the Franklin County Fairgrounds. Registration opens up at 9:30. The walk kicks off at 10. It's going to be great. You do not need to be an Olympian to participate in the walkathon. You don't even have to walk that far. You really get to decide. But it's a really great way to support LifePath's critical care programs that they offer to our elder and aging population. As you know, about 40% of Franklin County's population is over the age 55. So this is an incredibly important organization. We want to do everything we can to support them. And if you're sitting here thinking, hey, I love LifePath, but I'm a little busy tomorrow, that's okay. You can find a walker to support, or you can make a donation anytime. But please, let's support LifePath. And after you walk up an appetite, you can stay at the Franklin County Fairgrounds, because from 12 to 8 is the first ever Franklin County Food Festival. And that's also a fundraiser for the Food Bank of Western Massachusetts. So lots of great opportunities to help out tomorrow. And then here's another one. Stone Soup Cafe is celebrating Kirsten Levitt's 60th birthday. Happy birthday, Kirsten. There's going to be live music and dancing at Cox and Reed from 6:45 to 10:30, appropriate enough. Tickets are $60, and you can purchase those through the Stone Soup Cafe website. Happy birthday. How exciting. Thanks for all you do. Double Edge Theater and Okateu, nailed it, great, are hosting their next community day together on October 27th from 1 to 4 at Double Edge Theater in Conway. If you haven't visited Double Edge yet, please do. This is such a great opportunity to get in, to see this space, and to have a great day with your family. You get to experience traditional food, singing, music, dancing. You can make some corn husk dolls. There's some bungees, which I have tried those bungees. I will tell you that they are both more fun and more difficult than they appear. So take some Tylenol with you if you're going to attempt those. But feel free to talk to Hannah, who's at the back of the room with Double Edge, and then visit their website for more information on that event. And then our friends at Franklin County CDC are celebrating 45 years of success at their annual meeting on Wednesday, November 13th. That's from 4:30 to 7. You can register on their website. It's always a great time. It's always really inspiring to hear how many businesses they've helped throughout the years. And then in lighter news, Light Up the Fairgrounds and the Franklin County Festival of Trees are both looking for participating businesses to join the fund. So if you are interested in decorating a tree or a light display, please talk with Sharon Cross. Where's Sharon? There she is. You can talk to Sharon Cross. I'm going to give you a heads up. This is a really great year to get involved. The Chamber and the Rotary are going to be holding a joint event at the fairgrounds on December 4th. So there's going to be some additional eyes. But is everybody familiar with especially how Festival of the Trees works? We took a 1-year hiatus, but essentially your business donates and decorates a tree, and then the community comes in and buys raffle tickets for their chance to win that tree and all of the prizes that are associated with it. It's a really great event, so please participate if you can. Those sponsorships need to be committed by October 31st, I believe. Oh, Erin's here. Good morning, Erin. You just missed your welcome. Everybody, Erin Hall, who's Chief of Staff for the City of Greenfield. All right. You can also join Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Western Mass for Brews, Bites, and Bids on November 7th. That's at the Log Cabin in Holyoke. That is a great opportunity to enjoy local brews, great food, and a silent auction and raffle, all for a great cause. Tickets are $50, and that supports youth mentoring programs for Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Western Mass. Chris is here. I saw him come in. There he is. If you have questions or you want me to learn more about that, or you want to donate a raffle prize, right? Are you still taking silent auction raffles? Great. Talk to Chris after the event. Okay, so, there was one other event. Linda. So, October 23rd, that's a Wednesday. There's a really great event happening in Turner's at the Greenfield Savings Bank location. It's going to offer, looks like Montague Dental Arts will be there, health services, financial experts. It's basically a comprehensive resource fair. So stop in for your chance to talk to experts. I imagine this information, where's Linda, is on their website. But this is also a great opportunity to share with any of the folks that you work with. So it's a great resource for it. All right, as you can see, there is so much happening, and I do just want to point out how lucky we are to live in an area where there is always so much going on. If you want a full list of activities, you can visit the Franklin County Chamber website. But I do want us all to take a moment to appreciate that 3.6 million visitors come to Franklin County to experience what we get to take for granted every day. And I'm going to use last weekend as an example. I got to judge a vintage car show at Greenfield at Vintage Days. And then right after I got to judge an apple pie contest at 4-Star in Northfield. I was definitely more qualified for one of those judging opportunities, but I'll let you guess which one it was. But on my way from Greenfield to Northfield, I saw a line of cars about 50 deep on their way to get off the exit to go up the Mohawk Trail, which from an economic development lens is a really good sign. And then when I got to 4-Star for their Flannel Fest and their apple pie contest, it was so busy that they ran out of IPAs. Right? Thank you. That is the reaction I was looking for. Then, after we left, I attempted to order pizza, because how else do you follow up 14 apple pies than with some pizza? And for the first time in their business history, Clayton at Antonio's Two Bernstein said that they ran out of pizza. Yeah. So, I mean, you can draw your own conclusions. One, businesses are underprepared and I am extremely overfed. Or, which is more likely, you know, there's so much activity happening across Franklin County. So we are getting reports that last week in particular, businesses and events across the county saw record-breaking activity. And that, yeah, it's great. And that just confirms what our location intelligence software is showing, that there is an increased trend of increased foot traffic and spending in Franklin County, and that is a trend that we are certainly working hard to encourage. So, great job. Let's keep up the good work. And then I do have some more good news. So as you know, the Chamber operates both as the Chamber of Commerce and then the Regional Tourism Council. And a couple of weeks ago, we got word that our FY25 RTC 1038 grant application was awarded the largest allotment in Franklin County history. So it's almost double the grant allotment that we normally have. And this is really exciting because it comes at a year when there was actually reduced funding available in the Tourism Trust Fund. So what that says to us is that the state sees what we all know, that Franklin County truly is ripe with potential, and there is so much available here and that they're willing to invest in it. So we are really looking forward to taking this historic grant and using it to leverage opportunities, create some more Franklin County super fans, support our small businesses, offer some mini grants, sell out more pizza shops. It's going to be great. But there's several wins across Franklin County with those mass development one-stop grants and with grants available through MOT. So good news all around. All right. Yeah, you can give a round of applause for that. So now on with today's program. As you know, we are celebrating National Cooperative Month with a program and a panel discussion spotlighting our local cooperatives and exploring a growing business model that I think still may be a little mysterious to some of us. I took a quick poll before this breakfast started, and I think there's a lot that we can learn from today's panel experts, and I'm, again, really grateful for you all for being here. So for that reason, we wanted to take this opportunity to recognize and honor the unique contributions that cooperatives make to building resilient and inclusive communities, not just in Franklin County, but across the country and the globe. So you may be surprised to learn worldwide that there are about 3 million cooperatives, representing 12% of the world's population as members, and nearly 10% of the global population, so around 280 million people, are employed by a cooperative. In the United States alone, we're looking at 65,000 cooperatives, with 1 in every 3 people being a member of at least one cooperative or credit union. Raise your hand if you are a member of a cooperative or credit union. That's more than 1 in 3. That's good. So for our own region, we show a powerful impact of cooperatives. The 44 food co-ops and startups in Northeast, and these are members of the Neighboring Food Co-op Association, serve 185,000 members and employ more than 2,500 people. Last year, they sold over 121 million in local products, making an impressive 25% of sales, and that's compared to only 3% of conventional grocery outlets. So that's pretty impressive. And I do want to give a special thanks to Suzette Snow-Cobb of the Neighboring Food Co-op Association for sending me this data. If you thought I was just a co-op expert, I'm not. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Is Suzette here? Yay! Thank you, Suzette. You're the best. So Franklin County is home to 16 co-ops, with some co-ops operating for more than a century. Spoiler alert, it's Greenfield Farmers Cooperative Exchange. But we'll let Jeff tell you about that in a minute. But oftentimes, the primary purpose of a cooperative is to serve the community in which it operates. So co-ops are mission-focused, not-for-profit enterprises, and the majority of their revenue shares are dedicated to fulfilling the social, economic, and cultural needs of its community. So when a co-op does well, it benefits the community as a whole. As Josh said to me last week, cooperative owners better the community, they do not buy beach houses. And I think there's a lot to be said there with the level of interest that every cooperative takes in really giving back both to its employees and to its community. So long story short, co-ops put the us in success. So please join me in welcoming our panelists who represent a wide range of Franklin County cooperatives. So each of these panelists could, of course, talk for 45 minutes about their cooperative alone. So I have asked them to keep their responses under 2 minutes. I think we're all sensitive after these debates. I will not be cutting anybody off. No mics will be muted in the process of this panel. But just to kick things off, I am going to ask that each of you introduce yourselves, your business, kind of explain your cooperative model. If you have just recently transitioned to a cooperative, can you tell us when that happened and what kind of fueled that transition? So that's 17 questions in under 2 minutes. Ready? Go, Jeff.
Good morning. Greenfield Farmers Co-op is, to me, the granddaddy of co-ops in the Pioneer Valley. $50 in 1918 started the co-op. No store. We just took your orders. It came in on a rail car. You came and the rail car came in and you helped unload everybody's order. We're over 100 years old. We're in our second location. The first location is on the railroad siding in Greenfield. And in the late 60s, they moved to High Street. Our management is a board of directors of 9 farmers. I report to that board of directors. I'm the general manager of the co-op. My model of managing is I let my people run the store. They run ideas by me. I think they're going to work, we run with it. I don't think they're going to work, we're going to run with it. Because if they're behind it, I got a better shot at it working with that. The idea of forming a co-op was to save farmers money on grain. The story I heard was the first 300-ton load saved them enough money to buy the next rail car. So it worked. They saved enough money to build a shed, build a warehouse, build a store. One of the things I'm most proud of is in my whole time there, and I have not found a time where they didn't, we give dividends on the stock and patronage on the profit. So the last 10 years, the co-op I combined the two together. $2.3 million back to our members the last 10 years. The last 20 years, $4.6 million. The last 34 years, $10.6 million back into the economy. And my gut tells me that most of that money comes right back into the co-op. They just take their patronage and dividends check and buy supplies for their farms. I'm proud of my board for that happening, my employees, and obviously my members, and the non-members that support the store, which many of you are non-members that shop at the store. You help in that success, paying the electric bill, the insurance, internet security, all the things it takes to run a small business.
Amazing, great. And if you haven't stopped by the co-op, there's also a fantastic selection of clothing. So if you are in the market for a Carhartt hat or a new jacket, I think sometimes people overlook that there's more than just fantastic seed and agricultural projects, dog food. There's some really great plants and some great clothing. And cats, yes, of course. Cats. So next we're going to move to Josh. Oh, actually, no, we're not. Keep going. So sorry. Who am I? Caitlin, go ahead.
Thank you. First, I want to point out that it is the first breakfast of Jennifer Stromson from the Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation. I just want to make sure to stand up, Jennifer, so people can see you.
Welcome, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer. So yes, I am Outreach and Communications Manager for the Franklin Community Co-op, which is Greenfield's Market and McCuskers Market. And we cannot claim to have been around for as long as the Farmers Co-op, but we've been around for almost 50 years. We started in 1977 as a buying club in Turner's Falls. 9 years later, we moved to Chapman Street in Greenfield, and 6 years after that, we moved to our current location of Greenfield's Market in a building that was formerly a JCPenney's downtown. A consumer cooperative means that our member owners are who own the business and who make decisions about the business. Any member owner who buys an equity stake of only $175, and that can be paid at $3 a month, they can run for our board of directors, and then when they sit on the board of directors, they help steer the business. And as Jesse pointed out, helpfully, that means that our priority is not the bottom line financially, it is how we contribute to the community. As a co-op, we have a series of ends, which are principles and essentially like our mission. And so our decisions regarding the business are filtered through our ends rather than what will increase our bottom line. That means that we can give back to the community in many ways. We have a working member program where people can volunteer in the community and get a discount on their groceries. We have a Food for All program where people who get SNAP, HIP, WIC, or Social Security can get a discount in the store. So our emphasis is in how we can be involved in the community. $3.5 million last year was spent on local products from 280 local producers, including 50 farms. That represents 30% of our income, so that is a significant portion, as Jesse pointed out, vastly more than a conventional grocery store. So the bottom line is that even though we're a market, we're more than a market because we are really invested in the community more than making money.
Great. Kate?
Hi, I am Kate Hunter, and I am a worker-owner at Real Pickles. We're a cooperative, worker-owned cooperative on Wells Street. Dan Rosenberg started Real Pickles in 2001 with a bunch of cucumbers from local farms. Went to a friend's kitchen, made a few batches of organic dill pickles, and went on from there. He started the business with a mission to provide this really delicious, nourishing food, and to also support and create a regional organic food system. So what that means is that he was really passionate about sourcing his organic vegetables locally and only distributing the ferments back to the Northeast region. In 2013, he decided, 13 years after he started, after growing pretty large, we're pretty big. We're all across the Northeast in a lot of co-ops and independent natural food stores. In 2013, he wanted to preserve that mission that the business was built on, of keeping going with the regional organic food systems to continue to influence and strengthen the community, to create good working jobs where our employees are really steering the direction of the business. So we transitioned to a cooperative in 2013 with 5 initial founding worker owners, and he did that to make sure that that sometimes that story of a natural food business, they get big, they do good, they get big, somebody comes in and they want to purchase it, it gets purchased, and then the values that the business was created on, they kind of go to the wayside, and it happens all of the time. And it can't happen with Real Pickles. We have, inscribed that mission into our bylaws. We have a board of directors that oversees a general manager, that oversees the other managers within the company, sales manager, production manager, etc. So we Yeah, it's awesome. We have right now 15 worker owners. We get to share, if there's any patronage at the end of the year, we get to share that. It's great. It's a wonderful way to go to work at your own business that you share with people that you work with and you love.
I'd also like to include that Kate also just celebrated a big birthday, so happy birthday, Kate. And Josh?
I'm Josh Elston from Eastport Solar. I'm a commercial design and sales consultant. So I'm in a room full of business owners. I'd be happy to talk to any of you or understand solar for your businesses. P Squared is also a worker-owned cooperative like Real Pickles, and like Real Pickles, we are on Wells Street. We're neighbors, and we share a building. And we were founded in 2002, and the initial concept was jobs for Franklin County workers. It was how can we seize the clean energy development movement to provide employment, long-term stable employment has always been our goal. And a group of people came together, more than 100 people interested in forming a solar panel factory. Turns out manufacturing is very difficult. But the results of some studies were, hey, you could probably form a viable installation company. And from that, more than 100 people who were interested, 4 people formed a worker-owned cooperative. So we're, from the outset, established as a worker cooperative. And over the 21 years since the founding, we've grown to about 45 people. And we install solar for upwards of 200 homes and businesses every year from our shop on Wells Street, across from the CDC. As a worker-owned cooperative, we have member owners of the business who've made an equity investment, who have an ability to vote on policy matters that affect the entire co-op. But we also have employees who are not member owners. There's a pathway to worker ownership. And we work with people to educate them about the business so that they can be informed and effective worker owners. And right now we have maybe 25 worker owners in a 45-person business. So everyone has that pathway to worker ownership that's open to them. But from a day-to-day, we have managers who are tasked with making day-to-day business decisions. Things like hiring, firing, pay setting, budget setting are all performed in a somewhat more traditional management role. And then we have an elected board of the members who set policies. So we provide policy governance. So as an owner of the business, I'm not responsible for deciding, who we hire or how much they get paid, but I am responsible for setting policies that affect everyone. And I know for me personally, that's always resulted in a strong sense that there's no exploitation within the business. Everyone has a very fair shake. Our compensation is, not super uneven across the business, and we have a real goal of providing long-term livable wages. So maybe we're not quite as ambitious about, growing really fast because we want to keep people employed year-round, which is also a difficult thing to do in the construction trades, and our workers have an opportunity to say, you know what, I would rather have a year-round job, I would rather go and shovel snow off a roof than have some kind of seasonal layoff. So these are the kinds of decisions that we make to make sure that we're providing good quality jobs. The last thing I'll say before I move on here is just I'm very proud to say that our first commercial solar installation was for Greenfield Market in 2003. We have installed multiple solar arrays for Real Pickles and as well for Dean's Beans. So I'm very happy to have contributed to the solar on all these other businesses. And so Jeff, I guess that leaves you. So when I run out of milk in the morning, I can walk right up to the Farmers Co-op Exchange, get our family farms milk. And so one of these days we'll have to have a conversation. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Beth Spong. I'm the CEO and worker owner of Dean's Beans Organic Coffee. We are a 31-year-old organic fair trade coffee company based in Orange, Massachusetts. We are a mission-driven company. The company was started in 1993 by Dean Sycon as a for-profit business, but also as an experiment. He was wondering, could I create a business, a coffee business that would be profitable and respect the earth and support coffee farmers around the world well and take good care of our employees? And here we are 31 years later, the answer is yes, you can do those things. You can have a values and mission-driven business that is really profitable. Our mission is to use specialty coffee, specialty coffee is really good coffee. It's a scoring matrix for positive change. And we see our role in the coffee industry as positive change relative to the well-being of coffee farmers that we buy from. We buy only from cooperatives of coffee farmers in 11 countries around the world. And we are now, as of the end of June last year, a worker-owned cooperative ourselves. Dean retired at the end of June last year and sold the company to the employees as part of a way to continue to promote the mission and to benefit the community. He had several offers from private equity companies and large multinational conglomerates to buy our business. And he knew what would happen, which is what Kate described. They would buy the company, take the brand, pull the company apart, jobs would go away in our local community, and that wasn't what he wanted to see happen. He didn't want that to be his legacy, even though he could have walked away with a huge pile of cash. That wasn't his value, and it wasn't in alignment with our company. So here we are, and we have 16 employees, 14 of whom are member owners, and we have, in terms of decision making, I'm the CEO, so I handle management and operations. We have a 5-member board of directors, all member owners, and Dean will be on our board for 3 years, which is really awesome. And then our member owners also have a voice. So there are certain decisions that the entire membership gets to make together based on the impact it will have on the company. There are certain decisions about policy and strategy that the board makes, and there are operational decisions that I make. And because we're a small team, it's a very collaborative process, and we work together on that. And Dean's Beans is located in Orange, Massachusetts, because when the business was outgrowing Dean's Barn in New Salem, he actually did research on demographics in Franklin County communities. And he saw that Orange was a community that struggled economically. And he thought, okay, I'm gonna take this business, I'm gonna put it in Orange where people need good jobs with good benefits, and the community school system and public services need support. So that's actually why we're located in Orange. And we continue to really prioritize living our values and contributing to the community and to the farmers and taking care of the environment in everything we do.
Amazing. Yeah, we can clap. And there's a lot of really exciting opportunities coming down the pipeline for Orange. And a lot of those have been because the business community has put Orange on the radar of our state and federal legislators. So we do owe it to the businesses and our elected officials who are advocating so hard for our more economically depressed areas. So Josh, you may have seen, we just shared that PV Squared Solar is the first and we think only solar company in Franklin County to be named as DCAM certified, which is an incredibly important and impressive certification. So congratulations to PV Solar on that milestone. So how has shared ownership affected your ability to grow PV Squared?
Well, I certainly think the way that I would characterize PV Squared is we're the largest local solar company serving Western Mass. There's certainly larger, regional and national companies that have a presence. But as far as a local solar company, I think we've achieved a scale that really works for our territory in Western Mass, which is largely defined by our ability to drive a truck there in a reasonable amount of time from Wells Street and Greenfield. So, we do get all the way down to, say, Great Barrington, all the way over, typically to the kind of Quabbin region, west of Worcester. And then we do get up into southern Vermont because our Vermont neighbors are so close by. But there have been times when the market demand for solar was really high, really hot. You all probably experienced waves of solar marketing, people knocking on your door. And during those times, there was, I thought, hey, PB Squared, you have this incredible cooperative model. People really like your company. People like working there. Why don't we double the size of this company and chase after these opportunities? And I would say that has met with maybe a little bit of conservatism from among the worker owners of PB Squared who were concerned about getting too big too fast. And then what happens when there's a cooling period, right? Interest rates get really high. It gets tough to want to take out a loan to finance solar projects. That's going to have a sagging impact on the market. And we don't want to be in a position where we're immediately on our hind feet, having to do layoffs, having to let people go that we just brought in and trained up and introduced to our culture. So, I think we've been a little bit more focused on what's a steady state for us. What can we maintain through, the summer and the winter season and the different business cycles that come along with that. But we've seen waves of national and regional companies sort of enter the market and then receive from the market. We have an incentive program that goes away and we say, oh, that national company is just no longer here anymore. So we're intending to be the long termers, and we've got over 22 years of being a steady partner. So that's how we look. We're not solar for everyone, for everywhere. We're solar for Western Mass, and we're in it for the long haul.
And you do a really good job. So Jeff, we are all fans of Greenfield Farmers Exchange. What are, I guess, some of the main benefits that farmers experience as being members of the Farmer Exchange, and how do those differ from the benefits they might have from working with traditional supply companies?
So one of the main benefits is we'll carry stuff that they need that other suppliers will not carry. We'll even invest in inventory that if I owned the business, I wouldn't buy it because we didn't turn it fast enough, but because we're member owned, I'll invest in the inventory, and it might take me 1 or 2 years to sell that order down. If a member pays with cash or check, they get a 5% discount. And then I discussed earlier the numbers. If we have a profitable year, our profits from our members go back to them in a patronage check, which is Christmas in March for our members. They're very happy about that check. But the main thing would be that we carry products. I have farmers that travel from Connecticut, New Hampshire, and Vermont every week to buy products that they can't buy someplace else.
That's great. Kaylin, how has being a member of a cooperative business influenced your relationship with the community, and what role does the community play in supporting your success?
Well, as I mentioned before, we are primarily community focused at the co-op, and I think one of the main reasons that our member owners become member owners, and we have almost 6,000 of them, is because they see the value in what we do in giving back to the community. So even if we don't give a regular discount for members, they get discounted on certain products every week, they get a quarterly discount, they have the opportunity to join our working member or Food for All program for discounts, but what they're really investing in is the community because of the work that we do. Local farms are able to depend on what we are going to buy from them. They know that we are a reliable source of income for them. Same with local producers. We are always looking for new local products that we can use, but also we're out in the community sponsoring events, doing our Roundup program where people can round up their purchase to various organizations. And so I think our members, without our members, obviously we would cease to exist as we are, and their value is our value, and that's what makes us special, that we care so much about the community and we're so deeply embedded.
Great. So Beth, you touched on it a little bit before, but Dean chose orange because it was economically depressed, but Dean's Bean has also done an incredible job of elevating and lifting international communities. So can you talk a little bit how you've prioritized international economic development and growth?
Absolutely. So we buy green unroasted coffee beans. Many people drink coffee. 65% of Americans drink coffee every day. Very few people actually know how coffee becomes coffee. So coffee is a fruit, and the seeds of that fruit are the green unroasted coffee beans. We buy those from 12 countries around the world, in Latin America, in Africa, and Southeast Asia. And we buy, as I mentioned earlier, from cooperatives of farmers. And we buy only fair trade, only organic coffees, because that's part of our commitment to the planet and people. Organic, as many of you I'm sure know, is about protecting the environment, preventing soil degradation, and protecting the health and well-being of farming communities as well as consumers. And fair trade is about making sure that we're taking care of people. Fair trade organizations are responsible for ensuring that there are educational and economic opportunities in their communities, gender equity, preventing child labor, and also taking good care of the environment with their farms. So the vast majority of farmers we buy from are small stakeholder farmers, which means they are farming on anywhere between 1 and 10 acres. And so in Ethiopia, we buy from a cooperative that has 80,000 farmers in it, because their farms are so small that together they come together in a cooperative to bring it to market. So in addition to our commitment to paying farmers more than the commodity price for coffee, we also pay the fair trade, the organic, and the bird-friendly premiums. So that's even more money that goes back to the farmers. And then we invest in farming communities. So we actually go to the farms that grow the coffee that we sell. We sit down with the farmers and talk about what's going well, what are the challenges, what do they need. We ask them, what will improve your children's lives? What will strengthen your communities? And they tell us, we need water, we need maternal health, we need literacy, we need economic opportunities for young people to stop the migration from Central and South America to the United States so our communities and our families can stay intact. We need, so they tell us what we need, and then we invest in projects that help meet those needs. So it's really important, Wade and I were talking about this earlier, for us to be contributing to the communities that we buy from, and not to be extractive, to not just paying attention to what we can take, what we can get. So that's how we do that.
It's amazing. I didn't need another reason to drink coffee, but that's pretty good. Kate, where do you source your produce and ingredients, and how does the cooperative structure impact your relationship with suppliers and your ability to negotiate with suppliers?
And that comes right back to the mission that's protected by being a worker-owned cooperative. We source, this past year, over 400,000 pounds of organic produce from Northeast Organic Farms. So mainly that's right here in the valley in Western Mass. Also Vermont, there's also a farming co-op, Deep Root Co-op, that's based out of Vermont. That has a bunch of different farmers, all organic. So most of our farms are pretty local. The cucumbers have to be very local because those come off out of the field and get fermented right away. Being a co-op has influenced that relationship with the farmers, because they know that they are getting, they have buyers for their crops. They know we go work with them before, early spring or late winter, and we talk to them about what we're looking to do for the next year. They make a plan of what they can provide for us. We pay premium prices for organic or beautiful organic vegetables from this rich fields in this area. And it influences us. Like, we can't make people will say, like, well, we want a certain fermented vegetable. Okra is coming to mind. I know we can grow okra, but things that are grown here in this area are what we're going to ferment. You can ferment, or you can grow cabbage all over the country. Why would we ferment this cabbage here and send it off to California? And when other businesses can do that in their area. So basically, we are creating these relationships with the local farms. We're providing jobs for the farmers and for their employees, and it goes back to that mission of being embedded in our bylaws that really influences our relationship with the farmers and what we're growing and fermenting.
Amazing. I had the opportunity to work for a pickle company that was not a co-op, and I can tell you that experience was not great for 99% of the people that were employed there. And I had the opportunity to visit Kate at Real Pickles and see the work they're doing, and it truly is incredible. I've actually been able to visit everybody, including the roastery that I'm finding it's called, the roastery in Orange. But it's easy to see when you're in these workspaces that folks really enjoy their work, they want to be there, they love what they're doing, and as we all know, it's not always the case when you go into any given workplace. So I think I do want to leave some time for questions if we can, and I will tell you we have about 100 raffle prizes today. You all picked a good breakfast to come to because we are stacked with raffle prizes. So I think in the interest of time, I'm going to give one more question to the whole group. Oh, go ahead, Beth. Okay, I take that.
One of the questions that you asked me to respond to is really, I think, important for people or businesses that are considering the possibility of a transition to cooperative. I would say that I was surprised to learn in our education process about becoming a cooperative that many people, business owners, assume they will be able to pretty easily sell their businesses. In fact, only 20% of businesses that are up for sale actually sell. And only 15, and many people also assume, as Dean did, that his children would want to take over his business. And they were like, no, Dad, we don't want to run your coffee company. And so only 15% of the time do children and grandchildren take over businesses. I think it's important to be eyes wide open about that reality. It's also true that most business owners overvalue their businesses. And so the price that they may be able to get for their businesses is less than they would anticipate. So in considering that transition, I think it's really important for us to look at, like, what is the legacy that you want to leave for your company, for your workers, and for in your community? And is there a way that you can transition to retirement that benefits all of those stakeholders and that really embeds your values in that transition? And that takes time. So often people don't consider the transition until it's like, oh, wow, now I need to retire. It could be a health thing, it could be a time of life thing. And so there's great help available for people who are interested in transitioning their businesses to worker-owned cooperatives. Happy to answer questions about that, but I think it's really important to understand that this kind of transition is a huge gift to the community. Who knows better how to run your business than the people who have been running your business? Something to think about.
Great. And I do want to say, all of the businesses in Franklin County are just as good as you think they are. So that doesn't necessarily apply to us. You're all stellar. But it is a really interesting model to consider if you are looking at alternative succession plans. And I would encourage you to pick Beth's brain since they just recently went through that transition.
And I didn't mean to imply in any way that we are not still.
Oh, no. We know. So I do want to just leave us with this, another 4-point question for everyone. So when people walk away today, what is one thing that you hope that they remember about your organization and your cooperative, and how can we support you? Jeff.
We were given these questions a few days ago, so I've had time to think about it and still don't have an answer. I guess I just want people in the community to, when they shop at Greenfield Farmers Co-op, they are supporting local farmers. And the board of directors and my people, we do support local organizations like 4-H. I don't think I've ever said no to a 4-H donation. The co-op, this will be the second year, offering scholarships to college students that are going to be in agriculture. They did it last year with 4 people, and this year they award, they can earn, 5 people can earn a scholarship. So not only with the patronage going out into the local economy, the co-op does support other ventures or organizations in the community. Not all of them, but a good portion of them. And we're good for Greenfield and the surrounding towns.
Amazing, and this is a great opportunity to plug that our next breakfast, November 15th, is going to be the annual Growing Our Economy. It's a partnership with CISA. Greenfield Farmers Exchange is sponsoring that, but that is a great opportunity to come and hear directly from our farmers how that sector is kind of changing their approach and innovating technology so that they can continue to grow us food, because it's a really important part of our fabric here in Franklin County. So November 15th, if you want to register for that, you get the early bird rates on the back of your program, just saying. All right, Caitlin.
I would like people to go away thinking about us not as 2 grocery stores, even though we are 2 grocery stores, but as a bigger part of the local economic ecosystem, and that if it is important to you that money stays in Franklin County, that farmers are supported, that social organizations are supported, then your $3 a month, only up until $175, as a member means that you are seriously committed to all of those things. And that every time you walk into the market, you should understand that going into that market and spending your dollars in that market does more than sending your money away from Franklin County. It contributes directly to our community here.
Great. Kate?
I would like you all to walk away and walk into the co-op. And when you go look at your options for pickles or sauerkraut or ginger carrots or fermented beets or hot sauce, you look at the options that you have. Well, at the co-op, they're all pretty good options, but say Big Y. The options that you have when you choose real pickles, you are choosing cucumbers that were grown in East Hampton at Mountain View Farm. You're choosing sauerkraut with cabbage that was grown at Atlas in Deerfield. And you are choosing a product that is made here in Greenfield, that is thinking about your environment, that's thinking about the commerce in the area, that is thinking about social justice and all of the things that are important to a lot of us in this community. And we taste really good. And less hands on your product. You know, you're getting it real close to home, and delicious.
I think a lot of people see PB Squared's trucks on the road, and maybe your neighbor has a solar array from PB Squared. People may be somewhat less familiar with our commercial work. We've provided solar to hundreds of local businesses of all different sizes. We're just wrapping up a rather large-scale installation on the new Food Bank of Western Mass headquarters down in Chicopee. We've done installations at the industrial park here in Greenfield for large-scale manufacturers. And our latest frontier is we have got this Division of Capital Asset Maintenance and Management, DCAM certification, which allows us to do larger scale projects for public entities, towns and public entities. And we're really interested in building on the decades of experience. We have teams that, I think our average tenure on our commercial team is over 7 years. And I'm working alongside colleagues who've been doing this work, focused on this work in Western Mass, with Western Mass utilities and business owners for, in many cases, over 15 years. And so we've worked hard to get these certifications to demonstrate that we're a reliable counterparty and we can be a trusted local partner. So that's how I'd like people to understand PV Squared as a trusted local partner for solar. Thank you.
Great.
So I've talked a lot about our mission. I'll tell you a little bit about coffee. So what I'd like for people to remember is that about half of our business is wholesale. So business to cafes, restaurants, higher education, office coffee, grocery stores, food cooperatives that either sell in bins or in 1-pound bags our coffee, or they brew it and serve it. And the other half of our business is direct online to consumers through deansbeans.com, through our website. We're a national business, so those kinds of businesses that I just mentioned around the country purchase our coffee wholesale, and people from across the United States buy direct from our website. And I would like to remind you that when you're drinking coffee, you can brew great coffee and create real change with Dean's Beans, 1 cup at a time.
That's great. Yeah, we can clap for that. That was great. I have a feeling that's not the first time Beth said that. That was good. It is. We got to put that on a t-shirt. That was very good. So we've heard today how our local co-ops and employee-owned businesses put people in Franklin County first, and it's clear that their commitment extends far beyond profit margins. They are very interested in making sure that their businesses are operating in the best interest of the community that they're serving. And we are just extremely grateful for their participation today. One more round of applause for our panelists. Did we all learn something today about cooperative-based businesses? Yes, great. As we are seeing, this is a growing trend, especially as younger generations really look for work environments that prioritize a work-life balance and want to kind of contribute to something bigger. I think we're going to see more co-ops pop up. Right, Suzette? Yes. Yes, great. And if you are thinking that you just didn't get enough of the cooperative conversation, I would encourage you all to attend the GBA Roundtable. It's happening on October 24th at 4 Phantoms Brewery. Josh will be there. PV Squared is helping to co-host that. That event is happening right before they have trivia, so you could fit quite a bit in that evening if you're interested.